We all know about good advices. We know it makes sense, yet we do nothing or rarely follow it. Why? It's not a lack of willpower. It's a collection of hidden psychological forces quietly keeping us stuck. The first reason good advice gets ignored is surprisingly simple. People don't like being told what to do. Imagine someone tells you to quit social media, or start exercising, or stop wasting money. Even if the advice is correct, something inside you pushes back. Suddenly, the advice feels less like help and more like a threat. Psychologists call this reactance. It's the mind's way of protecting freedom. The moment we feel our choices are being restricted, we instinctively want to reclaim control. Ironically, the better the advice sounds, the more strongly some people resist it. Not because they disagree, because they want the decision to be theirs. But freedom isn't the only thing the mind protects. It also protects familiarity. Most people believe they make decisions by comparing options and choosing the best one. In reality, we often choose the option we already know. The bad job, the unhealthy relationship, the habit we've wanted to quit for years. Not because they're good, because they're familiar. The unknown carries risk. The familiar carries certainty. And to the brain, certainty often feels safer than improvement. Good advice usually asks us to leave the familiar behind. That's why change feels uncomfortable, even when it clearly makes sense. Sometimes advice doesn't just require change. It requires confrontation. Check your finances. Step on the scale. Have the difficult conversation. Face the uncomfortable truth. Many of us would rather avoid the information entirely. Psychologists call this the ostrich effect. Like ostrich supposedly buries its head in the sand, we avoid information that threatens our comfort. Not because reality disappears when we ignore it, but because avoiding reality feels easier than facing it, at least for a while. Now the problem becomes even deeper. Sometimes advice doesn't threaten our comfort. It threatens who we think we are. A smoker hears health advice. A business owner sees evidence their strategy isn't working. A parent receives criticism about their parenting. Accepting the advice may require admitting something painful. Maybe I've been wrong. And for the human mind, protecting identity is often more important than discovering the truth. This creates a psychological conflict. Change your behavior, or reject the advice. Most of the time, rejecting the advice hurts less. At least in the moment. Even helpful advice can feel like criticism. You're doing it wrong. You're behind. You should know better. And when advice feels like an attack, the ego often attacks back. At this point, you might think the solution is simply learning more. But there's a problem. Most people already know what they should do. Eat healthier, exercise more, sleep better, spend less than you earn. The challenge isn't knowledge, it's action. Knowing is not doing. This is called the information action gap. And it reveals something surprising. The more obvious the advice becomes, the easier it is to dismiss. Not because it's wrong, but because we've heard it so many times that it stops feeling valuable. Even when we accept advice, another problem appears. Good advice almost always rewards us later. Exercise today, benefit months from now. Save money today, benefit years from now. Learn a skill today, benefit sometime in the future. The problem is that the brain heavily favors immediate rewards over delayed ones. The future version of you wants discipline. The present version of you wants comfort. And the present version usually wins. Good advice also comes with a hidden cost: effort, discipline, patience, repetition, delayed gratification. People don't resist the truth. They resist the effort attached to it. And to make things even harder, good advice often looks ineffective at first. Fitness, investing, building a business, learning a skill. Progress is invisible in the beginning, while bad decisions often provide immediate emotional rewards. The brain notices what's happening now, not what's happening later. Sometimes the problem isn't freedom, or comfort, or effort. Sometimes it's hope. After enough failures, people begin to doubt that change is even possible. Advice sounds reasonable, but internally they think, I've tried before. It didn't work. What's the point? Psychologists call this learned helplessness. The barrier is no longer knowledge. It's belief. People stop rejecting advice because they disagree with it. They reject it because they no longer believe their actions matter. And advice is only accepted when a person is emotionally ready to hear it. The same advice can sound annoying today, and life-changing a year from now. Timing matters. People rarely change because advice is good. They change because they're ready. Humans like to think they make independent decisions, but we're deeply influenced by the people around us. If everyone overspends, overspending feels normal. If everyone procrastinates, procrastination feels normal. If everyone complains but never changes, that becomes normal too. Even excellent advice struggles against group behavior. Because humans are social learners, the tribe can overpower the truth. If everyone around you ignores the advice, following it suddenly feels much harder. And this leads to the final reason good advice getting ignored. Most advice focuses on adding more, work harder, learn more, try again, push further. But what if the real problem isn't what you're missing? What if the real problem is what's leaking away? Bad habits, distractions, negative environments, hidden self-sabotage. Imagine trying to fill a barrel full of holes. You can pour in more water, but the level never rises. Not because you're not working hard enough, because the leak remains. Many people spend years searching for better advice, when what they actually need is to find the leak and fix it.